Hello my friend, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ishe. If this is your first time seeing this beautiful face, please do not make it your last by clicking the subscribe button. On this channel, I help you on your journey of intentionally becoming her. So if you want to level up, rebrand, glow up, become your best self in this year, this is definitely the place to be. So go ahead and click the subscribe button to join the friend squad. If you're a returning friend, I love you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for coming back for yet another video. We've spoken countless times about high value women, and today we're going to be talking about 12 micro habits that you can practice for you to instantly be perceived as a high value woman. So let's just get into it. The first micro habit is to keep your phone out of sight during conversations. You'll find that a lot of people are so addicted to their phones. They can't function without their phones, to the extent that even when they're having conversations with other people, they're constantly scrolling on their phones. What that does is it communicates to the person that you're talking to that this conversation that I'm having with you is really not important. You are boring me, and this is just a waste of my time. And truthfully, that is a waste of their time. Talking to you whilst you're scrolling on your phone is a waste of their time. So it's very important for you to keep your phone away. And when you practice doing that, it signals to the person that you're talking to that this is a high value woman, because you also value other people's time. Number 2, if you want to instantly be perceived as a high value woman, practice respecting other people's boundaries. We've spoken at length about how you need to set boundaries as an individual, how you need to show people how they should treat you. But the same goes for you. When people show you how you should treat them, respect that and treat them accordingly. If someone expresses to you that they do not like your tone when you're talking to them, if they don't like the way that you speak to them, acknowledge that and respect it. If someone expresses to you that they don't like it when you do a certain thing, acknowledge it, even if it doesn't make sense to you, okay? Acknowledge it and respect it. What should come to your mind when someone says, oh, this particular thing that you did made me feel this way, isn't to say, how are you reacting that way? How are you feeling that? You shouldn't feel that. That is so stupid. That doesn't make sense. I didn't mean that, right? That should not be your response. Your response should be, okay, even though that doesn't make sense to me, how that particular thing that I did could make you feel that way, I acknowledge it and I won't do it again. On that note, it is very important for you to speak positively about other people. You know, there's certain people who just can't say anything good about other people. There are people who are just so toxic that any chance they get, they're going to belittle someone. Someone can be wearing something really nice and then they'll be like, oh, but that color isn't the best. Or someone could be really wearing like a nice dress, and then they'll come and say, but the stitching on this dress isn't so perfect. This person who made this dress wasn't so neat. There are people like that. There are people who, even if they have that particular thing that someone has achieved, they will still try to make that particular thing that someone has achieved seem small. And that to me just screams inferiority complex. And if you want to be perceived as a high value woman, you need to be someone who's able to speak positively about other people. If you've got nothing good to say, just keep quiet. Unless it's constructive criticism, but it's only constructive based on the way that you then deliver it. And that is very key. Number 4, whilst it's important for you to speak positively about other people, you also need to speak highly about yourself. It is very important, and high value women do this. So you need to also practice that if you want to be perceived as a high value woman. You'll find that there are certain people who just cannot say anything good about themselves. They're always just belittling their efforts. They're always trying to be pitied. They're always trying to make their situation look so bad. That is very bad, okay? That is just so unattractive. You really need to make sure that you speak highly of yourself. Not to say you have to be arrogant. No, friend, that is not it. But don't belittle your efforts. Don't make yourself look small. Don't try to diminish yourself, rather. It is very important for you to also praise yourself. Right? Not, again, I will say this, not in a cocky manner, but to simply acknowledge when you do well. Number 5, graciously accept compliments. You know, the same people who can't say good things about themselves are the same people who find it so difficult to accept compliments. When someone compliments you, my friend, don't try to downplay that particular thing that they complimented. That is very tacky, okay? Simply accept that compliment. Say thank you. Thank them for acknowledging that particular good thing that they're complimenting you on. And when you try to downplay what someone is complimenting you on, What that is implying to the other person is you have bad judgment. You don't know how to see good things. So I am showing you that, okay, that thing that you're saying is good. That thing that you're complimenting me on really isn't important. You're a bad judge of character. You're a bad judge of quality. And that is very bad, okay? That is something that you want to avoid doing if you want to be perceived as a high value woman. Take compliments graciously. Say thank you. And when you say thank you, one thing that I also notice is most women feel pressured. If they receive a compliment, they feel pressured to also give a compliment. You don't have to, okay? Just say thank you and move on. Only give a compliment if you genuinely mean it. I personally value giving genuine compliments. Don't compliment someone simply because they complimented you first. Don't do that, friend. The sixth micro habit that you want to practice if you want to be perceived as a high value woman, smiling genuinely and making eye contact is very important because it helps to build trust in the people with whom you're communicating, and it also adds warmth to you. So whoever communicates with you, they have this memorable experience with you simply because of the way that you are smiling at them and making eye contact. To them, it shows them that you're really paying attention to the conversation, you are engrossed in the conversation that you're having with them, and you're fully appreciative of what they have to bring to the discussion. Number 7, keep your chin up. You know, when you talk like this or like this, that's not attractive, and that is something that a high value woman doesn't do. You need to make sure that wherever you are, whenever you're speaking, you have your chin up. It is very important. Even when you're not speaking, make sure your chin is up. That communicates value, that communicates authority, and that communicates class. And it's very important, my friend, if you want to be perceived as a high value woman. Speak in a lower tone. Friend, I know it can be difficult, especially when you're emotional, for you to maintain a lower tone, but it's very important. Whenever you speak with a lower tone as opposed to a high tone, where your voice is more squeaky, what that does is it just brings more authority to what you're saying. It just adds connotations of confidence in the mind of whoever is listening to you. When you lower your vocal tone, you sound more poised, controlled, and impactful. And when you couple that with speaking slowly and clearly, it commands respect and attention. Practice. The 9th micro habit that you want to practice if you want to be perceived as a high value woman is to be firm and intentional with your word. When you make a commitment, my friend, you need to make sure that you honor it. If you say that you're going to do something, make sure that you do that exact thing. It is very important because then when people know that if Ishe says something, she's going to do it, it builds trust. And it also helps you build a rapport of reliability, and that is very important. If you're perceived as someone who's dependable, who's reliable, someone who when they say something they're going to do it, that will instantly make people label you as a high value woman. Now, in terms of being firm with your word, it is very important for you to also know when to say no, right? Don't just say yes to everything, right? Say yes to things only when you know that you can actually commit to them. Don't say yes out of obligation. The 10th micro habit that you want to practice if you want to be labeled as a high value woman is to dress intentionally, even on casual days. As you can see, today I'm wearing a t-shirt, right? It is a statement t-shirt that is written, "Make it better." Absolutely nothing luxurious about this, but I leveled it up. I didn't just wear it anyhow. I made sure that I still have my face done, I have my hair looking good, I also have my jewelry, and that is very important. Make sure that even on casual days you look good, you look put together. Number 11, let pauses happen in conversations. Friend, if you want to be perceived as a high value woman, let conversations flow naturally. You don't have to fill in the gaps. When there's a gap in a conversation, let it be. Let that gap be. Allow pauses to happen. This enables time for reflection and even deeper connection. And when you allow pauses to happen, your words become more impactful, and it also signals that you're comfortable in your own presence. The last micro habit that you have to practice, my friend, if you want to be perceived as a high value woman, is to replace sorry with thank you. You know, a lot of people just really say sorry a lot, even when it's not necessary. You want to ask something, you're like, "Sorry, can I ask, why are you saying sorry?" Why, friend? Why? Any small thing, you're saying sorry. Personally, one thing that I've been practicing is even if I'm late in terms of submitting something, I don't say sorry. I do not say sorry. And that is not because I want to be cocky, but because I noticed that there is power in not just saying sorry all the time. There is so much more power in shifting the language, and especially in the workspace, the way that you communicate your error is very important. You don't want to communicate your error in a way that makes you seem inferior, that makes you seem subjected to the person with whom you're communicating. What you want to do instead is to acknowledge your error in a way that still makes you retain your autonomy, which makes you retain your authority. So what I do is, instead of saying I'm sorry for sending this late, I will say thank you so much for your patience. So I'm acknowledging that yes, you did have to wait because I didn't submit this on time, right? I acknowledge my error, but I'm also acknowledging that you are patient. And that is very important. That is so much more better than saying I'm sorry for submitting this late. If you make people wait for you, don't say I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting. Yes, it is important for you to be sorry, but the way that you communicate, I almost said you're sorry. The way that you communicate how sorry you are is important. Simply say thank you so much for waiting for me, right? And that is much more better if you want to be perceived as a high value woman. So that's it, my friend. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do comment down below. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on your post notification bell to be alerted every single time I post a video. And please do share this video. We want to grow this family. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.